Today we're in Santa Ana, California. We're gonna be working on a 26-foot Pondless Waterfall and stream package. This is gonna have a capacity of about 400 gallons, up to 24-inch Desert Select boulders, as well as a soft white lighting package.
I can close my eyes to be in California.
I'm gonna walk you through the plans for this pondless water feature. Basically what we have here is almost a fairly blank slate with what we're gonna be doing. This is the residence back door. As you can see, it's 2 steps up. Over in this area, they're gonna have a Trex deck, and as they walk out, it's gonna step down, and then this is where our pondless water feature is gonna start. Back over here, this tree is getting removed, and this is where the waterfall is gonna actually be starting from. What we see here is bringing up this grade about 18 inches or so, having a waterfall kick down here and then kind of meandering back and forth. And then this will be kind of the grade level that it's gonna maintain at or stop at. And then we're gonna have some kind of a bridge system, either a stepping stone in between the stream or perhaps a bridge that the homeowner is planning on building. And then this is just gonna stream down and end here right at the beginning of the deck. So when you're sitting out on the deck, the illusion should be that the water is actually disappearing almost like under the deck itself. So it should be fun. They do have plans to renovate the whole backyard, so I think at the end it's gonna be a fun project. So the distributor just pulled up with his truck to drop off the material and make sure that we got all of the stuff that we need, which includes 12 large aqua blocks, a pump vault extension, the pump, some plumbing, the fabric, and the liner. As we're doing that, the tree removal company is here to get rid of an existing tree. Once they're finished with that, we're gonna be able to start on our layout. So one of the first things we're gonna do is get rid of some of the grass that the client asked us to remove. We're gonna go in a little bit deeper, about 6 inches of the existing grass. The reason we're going this deep is to try and get as many roots of the grass as possible. It is a Bermuda grass, so it's gonna be nearly impossible to get everything. For the remaining dirt, what we're gonna do is spray it down, get some water in there, and start compacting so we have a good foundation for the water feature.
I'm gonna leave it all out there to dry. I'm gonna leave.
Okay, so from here, from this, we're going down 8 inches plus the aqua blocks. You said it was gonna be
I think it's 26.
25?
26, so let's go 26.
26.
So one of the things that we had to figure out on this project were the elevations. We had to deal with the existing elevations where everything was kind of sloping towards the garage. And then we also had to take into consideration the elevation of the new deck, some of the paving that was gonna happen, as well as the garage elevation that was basically set in stone.
Mark these out for the basin.
So here Carlos is taking some of the aqua blocks to measure out the basin size, and then you'll see that he paints another line on the outside. That second line is actually going to mark out the excavation, so there's a little bit of room for us to be able to fit the fabric, the liner, some more fabric, the aqua blocks, and be able to backfill with sand. So we chose an extra large basin for a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is actually for us to be able to use the spoils of that excavation and create more of a slope or elevation change for the waterfalls. So what we're gonna do is dig out the dirt from the hole that's gonna be the basin and flip that over and create more of a mound to be able to build up some waterfall areas. So what we always do is we will dry fit the aqua blocks in the excavation just to make sure everything fits the way we want it to. Here Carlos is removing the aqua blocks from that dry fit, and now he's gonna start the excavation for the pump vault.
Welcome to Japan.
So now that we've got everything excavated, leveled, and compacted, we're gonna start cutting some fabric and the liner so we can start bringing that in to fit into the basin.
Does it come as a surprise? Language of averted eyes. Silence is what I do best. Still I hear it all, wasting time around my head. So I talk to myself instead.
So here we're stacking the liner on top of the first layer of fabric. Once we get both of those in, we're gonna bring in an additional layer of fabric to help protect that liner from the aqua blocks that are gonna go in.
I can feel it anymore, 'cause recently the line is blurred between depression and bliss. Now I see that the times don't change, they waste away, but I just wanna sleep today.
So now that we've got the fabric liner and fabric in, we're gonna install the pump vault with the extension, as well as the large aqua blocks. When we are building these basins, we try to keep the shape of the actual aqua blocks and basin as rectangular as possible so we avoid as many extra wrinkles as possible. And in this case, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut one of the aqua blocks to fill the void between the vault and one of the aqua blocks. So now that's all set, we're gonna wrap up the aqua blocks in the vault with the fabric liner and fabric so we can bring in some sand to backfill.
I can hear the animals talking.
So what I'm doing here is using an existing piece of PVC pipe to mark out where I want to trench for the 3-inch line that we're going to be plumbing in for the waterfall. So today is rock delivery day. We are actually expecting this load of rocks in order to build the Boulder retaining wall. So in most cases, when we're getting a load of rocks, we like to protect the surface that they're gonna get dumped onto with some plywood. In this situation, the driveway is actually getting removed and replaced with new pavers, so we didn't have to worry about too much damage from the dump. So on this project, we are using up to 24-inch Desert Select boulders. These are a granite river rock that are mostly gray, but with warm tones of brown and tan.
Right? All these really cool gray ones kind of stand out to me as not fitting in. So like this guy, maybe save this one because it's flat. This is kind of what we need for the stepping stone. But definitely these really cool gray ones. Let's yank and start building the retaining wall.
So here we are building the Boulder retaining wall. We are using a piece of geotextile fabric that's going to help provide some stability to the wall, but it's also going to help prevent dirt from finding its way through the cracks of the wall. So what we're doing here is building up the mound to create some elevation change for the waterfalls. What we're doing here is taking the spoils from the excavation and flipping it over onto the mound. And as we flip that dirt over, we're going back and forth and compacting it to avoid any future settling. So now that we got the basin out of the way and some of the plumbing, we're getting ready to move on to the fun stuff, which is rock setting. But before we do that, Carlos and Fausto are gonna pull out some fabric and get that laid out over the entire footprint of the water feature. So now that the fabric is set, we're gonna bring out the rest of the liner, which ended up being about a 15 by 35 sheet of 45 mil EPDM liner. So the first rock that we're gonna start with is a stepping stone that the client is gonna be able to cross from one side to the other.
I think the other side looks nicer.
You think so?
Yeah.
kind of like this side.
You like that side?
You like this side better? I could go either way,
Yeah, because this side looks pretty eroded too.
as long as the water level is coming up to here. Let's strap it, pull it back there, and let's see if it will work on the bottom, like on the aqua blocks. And get an idea of what it feels like there.
Originally, the landscape plan showed a bridge, but after talking with the client, we ended up going with more of a stepping stone idea. And the reason being is that they were gonna have they're gonna have a deck built, and what we didn't want to do is have a bridge kind of bisecting that stream and making the stream look a little bit shorter than it needed to be. The important thing was that Jeff needed a way to be able to get from his planting area or his potting area and get that stuff over to the new planter boxes that he has on the other side of the stream. So what we were very careful of and took some time considering and setting were these stepping stones that were level, that Jeff could simply put like a piece of wood over and be able to cart back and forth material as needed over the stream to get from one side to the other.
Let's do one turn.
So like in most cases, the first rock that we set really sets the tone for the entire project.
Okay, right there.
In this situation, that first stepping stone, once we got it positioned in the right way and turned at the right angle, the level was dead on, and we were able to go from there and keep moving forward.
That's where we want it.
So whenever possible, just like in this case, what we're doing is flipping the liner back and forth, excavating as needed to accommodate for the heights of the boulders and the weirs. In this case, we did have to drop it down a few inches to accommodate for that water level. But as we're able to do it, it helps conform to the overall water feature and provides the results that we end up coming up with. So this build went fairly smoothly. Before we knew it, we were sealing off the rocks with some waterfall foam before we were getting ready to turn it on to see it flow for the first time. And here we go, the moment of truth. So the first drop went over, looked perfect. Second drop, same. Third drop, it needed a little help. We needed to sharpen the edge so the water would come up and spill over that edge nicely. And then there were some areas where water found its way up and over the liner. Nothing that we're not used to, easy to fix, and we took care of those as well.
So why you sitting around? Did you think it'd be easy? I tell you if it was easy, then everybody do it too.
So we're almost done with this Pondless Waterfall system out in Santa Ana. We've wrapped up most of the rock work, or all of the rock work. The pebbles are in. Carlos is working on a sleeve to pass our lighting wire through and the pump cord. A couple things that we do need to come back and finish are planting some aquatic plants in the stream system itself, as well as doing a flush out. What we're waiting for is another contractor to come in and do the rest of the landscaping, including a deck that's going to come right up to this water feature and cantilever over the edge. So we're really looking forward to coming back to show you the final project, which looks like this.
So now that the water feature is completed, we're excited to bring out the clients to see what they think.
So we're here with Alyssa and Jeff taking a look at their newly completed Pondless Waterfall. So thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I think we met well over a year ago, so it was a long time coming. We're super excited to see the whole package complete when that gets done. How about we kick on the water feature?
Yeah.
Get your reaction, and then we can hear your thoughts.
Oh my gosh, you guys, wow. How the heck do you do this?
So with the variable speed pump that you guys have, you can turn it up and turn it down. It'll be all app-based.
Make it like the Bellagio.
Almost, not quite, but yeah, it'll give you more water flow and more sound, or if you just want to chill, just keep it on one.
That's so cool, you guys.
Yeah, you did such a good job. This is
Master
amazing.
of your craft.
We definitely try. And so, like right over there, you have the little stepping stones that you could easily cross over.
The cats have been experimenting with
Oh,
that.
have they?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So, what do you guys think overall?
Love it.
Is this kind of what you were thinking when we met Jeff?
It's everything I wanted and better. It's, yeah, you did perfect.
And then Alyssa, what were your thoughts like going into it and what we have now?
I think I expected something smaller, but I'm glad that it's this big because it makes such an impact coming out here, and it's just going to be so nice to come out here and enjoy this. We're really excited.
I love the sound. It's very calming. I can already imagine just being out here and relaxing. Yeah.
You guys did wonderful. This is perfect.
Well, thank you guys again so much for the opportunity, and we are definitely looking forward to the final package being done.
Thank you so much.
Of course, absolutely, our pleasure.
So thanks so much for watching our Pondless Water feature build in Santa Ana, California. Now here's some more beauty shots.